Good morning, dear children. We continue with the chapter Lines and Angles. Today we begin Lines and Angles Part 2. Lines and Angles Part 2. We continue with our topic regarding the theory and the definitions which we need to understand and which are used while solving the sums of this chapter. So these definitions and theory are very important, children. Please listen carefully and memorize all the required definitions. We go to the next topic. We continue with the theory in this lesson, lines and angles. Number 30. The types of lines are distinct lines, coplanar lines, non-coplanar lines, intersecting lines, concurrent lines, parallel lines, non-parallel lines, perpendicular lines, tangent lines, secant, and transversal. So we'll be learning about 11 different types of lines. The meaning and the definition of each of this type of lines I'll be explaining in this topic. So we'll be learning about the types of line, and the first variety of line is known as distinct lines. What is the meaning of distinct lines? Here in the diagram, two lines are given, line AB and line CD. So if we look at the diagram, we can observe that the lines are not same. And the lines which are not same are known as distinct lines. The lines which are not same or are different from each other, they are known as distinct lines. So any lines which are not same are known as different lines. Different lines means they are also known as distinct lines. Different lines are known as distinct lines. The lines which are not same or are different from each other, those lines are known as distinct lines. So in this diagram, line AB and line CD are called distinct lines because they are different lines. Their points are located in different part of the plane. Let's go to the next topic, coplanar lines. What is the meaning of coplanar lines? Now here we have the diagram where line AB is given, line PQ is given, line CD is given, line XY is given. Now all these lines are drawn on different surfaces. The rectangle represents the surface, or we call it a plane. This surface is known as a plane. In maths, we'll be also learning about a topic called plane. Plane means a surface. So the line XY is in one rectangular plane. Line AB and line PQ are situated in the same rectangle surface or in the same plane. And line CD is in another rectangle or another plane. So if we think about a room which has different walls, there are 4 walls in a room, and there is a floor and there is a ceiling. The ceiling is a surface, the floor of the room is a surface, the 4 walls of the room are different surfaces. So if we look at this 3 planes, we can compare it with 2 walls of the room and the floor of the room. So we can say line XY is lying on one wall of the room, line AB and line PQ lie on another wall of the room or another surface of the room. Line XY is on another surface of the room, and line CD, we can say it lies on the floor of the room. So like this, these lines are lying on different surfaces or on different planes. Such lines are known as non-coplanar lines. But the lines which lie on the same surface, they are known as coplanar lines. So here line AB and line PQ lie on the same surface. So line AB and line PQ, we can call them as coplanar lines, while line CD, line XY, line AB, all 3 lines lie on different surface. So if we ask about these 3 lines, line XY, line CD and line AB, what type of lines they are, then we will say they are non-coplanar lines because all the 3 lines lie on different surface. So when the name of 2 lines are given, we have to just check whether those 2 lines or those 3 lines or those 4 lines lie on the same surface. If they are lying on the same surface, we say they are coplanar lines. Let's read the definition. The lines lying in the same plane or lying on the same surface, they are known as coplanar lines. Line AB and line PQ are coplanar lines because they lie in the same plane or same surface. What are non-coplanar lines? Non-coplanar lines are lines which do not lie in the same plane or which are not lying on the same surface. They are known as non-coplanar lines. If we look at the diagram, line AB and line CD lie on different surfaces, or we can say they lie in different planes. So line AB and line CD are non-coplanar lines, as both the lines do not lie in the same plane or on the same surface. They lie in different planes. So the lines lying in different planes are known as non-coplanar lines. The lines lying in the same plane are known as coplanar lines. So in this diagram, we are having lines which are coplanar also and lines which are non-coplanar also. So we just have to look at the surface and decide which lines are lying in the same surface. The lines lying in the same surface are known as coplanar lines. Lines lying in different surface are known as non-coplanar lines. Let's go to the fourth type of line, intersecting lines. The lines which meet each other at a point or pass through each other, they are known as intersecting lines. The lines which meet each other or pass through each other, they are known as intersecting lines. Here in this diagram, if you observe, line M is intersecting line N at point O. So the line can be named using a single letter of the English alphabet, and the name can be written on the side of the line. So here this line AB can also be named as line M. Same way, this line can be named as line N by using a single letter of the English alphabet as N, and this line CD can be named as line N. But children, if you have noticed, the name of the points are written in capital letters. A and B and C and D and O are written in capital letters. That means the name of the points are written in capital letters. But if the name of the line is written using a single alphabet, then we have to write the alphabet in small letters. So your line M is intersecting line N. So your M and N are written in small letters of the English alphabet. So if a single letter is used for naming the line, then we use a small letter of the English alphabet. But if a line is named using two letters of the English alphabet, then we use capital letters. For example, line AB and line CD, that means we are using two letters. So AB and CD are written in capital letters. Another thing we have to remember is the sentence can be written in symbolic notation, in mathematical notation, using symbols. So here line M is intersecting line N at point O. So if you observe the diagram, these two lines are meeting at point O. So O is the intersecting point. Or we can say these two lines meet at point O, and that can be symbolically written as M intersection N is equal to O. So this inverted U symbol means intersection symbol. This symbol is used to represent the word intersection. Intersection means to meet. So M intersects N at point O. So equal to O, and this O has to be written in this curly bracket. So this point O denotes the intersecting point, or these two lines are meeting at point O. And also observe that, children, when we are naming the line using a single letter, then the symbol of the line is not used above it. So here the line with an arrow is not used above the line when a single alphabet is used to name the line. So here M intersection N is equal to O means this M represents a line. And when a small letter is used for representing a line, the line with the arrow symbol is not used. So M intersection N is equal to O. That means these two lines are meeting at point O. But when two alphabets are used to name a line, then this line with the arrow symbol is used. Line CD is named with this line with the arrow, and then the name of the points lying on the line are written in capital letters. So this capital letters represent the name of the points which are lying on the line. So here A and B means A and B lie on this line. So this line can be named as line AB, but we will use capital letters to name the points. Same way, line CD means the points C and D lie on this line. So the name of the points are always written in capital letters. And even the line symbol is done with the arrow symbol, it is written. And this inverted U symbol means it is the intersection symbol. And we can read this whole mathematical notation as line AB intersects line CD at point O. Equal to O means at point O. So these two lines are meeting at point O, and O is called the intersecting point. So we can say point O lies on line AB also, and we can say point O lies on line CD also. We can say point O belongs to line AB. We can say point O belongs to line CD. So this point O belongs to both the line, or we can say point O lies on both the lines. The intersecting point lies on both the lines through which the lines are passing. So this point O is a member of both the lines. Point O is a common point lying on both the lines. The intersecting point will be called as the common point which lies on both the lines, or as many lines which pass through it. So point O belongs to all the lines which pass through it. Let's go to the next topic, that is number 5, type of line. The fifth type of line is concurrent lines. Now, what is the meaning of concurrent lines? It is just similar to intersecting lines. Concurrent lines are just similar to intersecting lines. Normally in intersecting lines, two lines, if they intersect at a single point, then we call them as intersecting lines. Concurrent lines are also known as intersecting lines. But the only main difference we have to understand is that many lines will intersect at the same point. Then those lines are known as concurrent lines. When 3 or more lines intersect each other at a single common point or at a single fixed point, then such a group of lines are known as concurrent lines. So let me repeat, children. When many lines intersect at a single common fixed point, then those lines are called as concurrent lines. If you look in the diagram, line M, line N, line P, line Q, line R, line S, all of them intersect at a single point O. So all these lines are called concurrent lines because all these lines pass through the same single fixed point O. So all these lines, line M, N, P, Q, R, S are concurrent lines because they intersect at a single point. When many lines intersect at a single point, those lines are known as concurrent lines. They can be written symbolically as M intersection N intersection P intersection Q intersection R intersection S equal to O. Although here I have written only the name of 3 lines, but according to the diagram, children, you have to decide how many lines are intersecting at point O, and symbolically you can write in this mathematical notation. Here I have mentioned only the name of 3 lines. M is intersecting N is intersecting P at point O. But as many lines intersect, that many lines we can name in the mathematical notation. So here I have named only 3 lines are intersecting, and from this we can make out if more than 2 lines intersect at a single point, then they are known as concurrent lines. But if only 2 lines intersect at a single point, then we call them as intersecting lines. If 2 lines intersect at a single point, we call them intersecting lines. If more than 3 lines intersect at a common point, then we call them concurrent lines. Let's go to the next type of line, that is parallel lines. The 6th variety of line is parallel lines. Parallel lines are also known as non-intersecting lines. That means they never intersect. Parallel lines never intersect each other. Parallel lines are also known as non-intersecting lines. So if anytime it is mentioned they are non-intersecting lines, line M and N are non-intersecting lines, children, we have to understand non-intersecting lines can be parallel lines if they are lying in the same surface. But if they are lying in different surface, we cannot call them as parallel lines. Only the lines which lie in the same plane and which never meet each other, they are known as parallel lines. The lines lying in the same surface, same plane, and which never meet each other, then they are known as parallel lines. For example, in this diagram, if you observe line M and line N, when extended, when we increase their length, they will increase till infinity because a line extends till infinity. And still if they do not intersect each other, then these two lines can be called as parallel lines. Line M and line N are parallel lines. If you see this dotted line here, it means we are extending these lines, and when we extend these lines till infinity, they will still not meet each other. So we can say line M and line N are parallel to each other. Symbolically, we can write them as M and then two vertical lines and N. So this symbol is known as the parallel symbol. So we will write down in the mathematical form as M is parallel to N. The sentence line M is parallel to line N can be written mathematically or symbolically as M is parallel to N. M is parallel to. This symbol, two vertical lines, is read as is parallel to. Is parallel to. M is parallel to N. But we will not just read it as M. Children, when there is no symbol above the small letter, it is understood that it is a name of a line. So your M represents a line. A line can be named using a single small letter, or a line can be named with two letters of the English alphabet, but then both the letters should be in capital letters. And then the line symbol with the arrow has to be drawn above it. So here, M is parallel to N will be read as line M is parallel to line N. We will read this mathematical symbol as line M is parallel to line N. Just like parallel lines, the meaning of non-parallel lines is completely the opposite meaning. Just like parallel lines, the meaning of non-parallel lines is completely the opposite of it. The lines which meet each other are called non-parallel lines. That means they are called intersecting lines. Non-parallel lines are actually intersecting lines. The lines which lie in the same surface and which may meet each other when extended, then those lines are known as non-parallel lines. The lines which are not parallel, they are called non-parallel lines, or the lines which meet each other are called non-parallel lines. Line P and line M are non-parallel lines. So if we look at the diagram, line P and line M, these two lines are non-parallel lines because when we extend line P further and when we extend them, line P will definitely intersect at point given here and it will intersect line M. So we can say line P and line M will intersect when extended. So line P and line M can be called non-parallel lines. In fact, we can call them as intersecting lines. Intersecting lines are also known as non-parallel lines. Non-parallel lines means lines which are not parallel but they are intersecting. So here line P and line N are also non-parallel. So if we extend this line P further, then line P will also intersect line N. So we can say even line P and line N will intersect each other. So line P and line N can be called intersecting lines, or we can call them as non-parallel lines. Non-parallel lines means lines which are not parallel but they intersect. That means line P and line N will also intersect, line P and line M will also intersect. So when line P is compared with the other two lines, we can say they will form a intersecting line or non-parallel lines. Let's go to the eighth type of line, that is perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines are actually intersecting lines. Perpendicular lines intersect each other. But the major thing we have to understand is that they intersect at 90-degree angle. When two lines intersect each other at a right angle forming 90 degree, then such a pair of lines are said to be perpendicular lines. The lines which intersect at right angle or the lines which intersect forming right angle, or there is 90-degree angle between both the lines, then we can say these two lines are called perpendicular lines. Here in the diagram, if we observe, line M and line N are intersecting each other at point O, and there's a 90-degree angle formed at point O, then this sentence can be mathematically or symbolically written as M is perpendicular to N. The sentence line M is perpendicular to line N can be symbolically written as M is perpendicular to N, or we can also name the line using two letters representing the points situated on the line, and that time we have to write capital letters. So points A and B lie on line N, so we'll call them as line AB, and points C and D lie on line M, so we'll call them as line CD. So we can say line AB is perpendicular to line CD. And we can also say line AB and line CD intersect at point O. Perpendicular lines actually intersect each other and form 90-degree angle or a right angle, but they are also called intersecting lines, and perpendicular lines will definitely intersect. So we can say perpendicular lines are actually intersecting lines. Let's go to the ninth topic, that is tangent lines. The ninth type of line is called tangent lines. The lines which intersect a circle at one and only one point, that line is known as a tangent. The line which intersects a circle at one and only one single point, then such a line is known as the tangent of the circle. So here if you observe in this diagram, there's a circle given and line AB is touching the circle or intersecting the circle at point P. A single point P is the common point which lies on the circle also, and it lies on this line AB also. Or we can say line AB is touching the circle at point P. So we can say line AB is tangent to the circle at point P. We can say line AB is tangent to the circle at point P. Line AB is known as the tangent of the circle as it intersects the circle in one and only one point P. A line which touches a circle at one and only one point, then such a line is known as tangent of the circle. Again I repeat, the line which intersects a circle at one and only one point, then that line is known as the tangent of the circle. Let's go to the 10th type of line, that is secant. Now, just like a tangent, the secant is a name of a line which intersects the circle at two different points. The line which intersects a circle at 2 points, then such a line is known as the secant of the circle. Line AD is known as the secant of the circle as it intersects the circle in two different points or two distinct points, and those 2 points are point B and point C. If we observe in this diagram, the circle is given and the line is passing through the circle, but the line is touching the circle at point B and the line is touching the circle at point C. So this line AD is intersecting the circle at two different points, at two distinct points, points B and point C. So we can say line AD is the secant of the circle. Secant means a line which intersects the circle in two different points. Line AD is intersecting the circle at two different points, point B and C. So line AD is called the secant of the circle. While line AB in this next diagram touches the circle at one and only one point. So this line AB will be called the tangent of the circle. If a line is touching a circle at one point, then that line is called the tangent of the circle. And if a line is touching the circle at two different points, then that line is known as the secant of the circle. Let's go to the 11th type of line, that is a transversal. What is the meaning of transversal? The line which intersects two or more than two lines at two or more than two different points, then such a line is called the transversal of the other lines. So here if in this diagram we observe line T is intersecting two lines, line M and line N, at two different points, at point Q and point R. The line T is touching or intersecting the other two lines at two different points. If a line intersects two or more than two different lines at two or more than two different points, then such a line is called the transversal of the other line. Here, if line T intersects three different lines at three different points, then line T will be called the transversal of the other three lines. In this particular diagram, line T is touching two different lines, line M and line N, at two different points. So line T will be called the transversal of the other two lines. Here line T is touching the other two lines at two different points, point Q and point R. So line T will be called the transversal of the other two lines. Now if we look in this diagram, three lines are given. Line M, line N and line T. Each of the line intersects the other two lines at two different points. Children, if you observe very carefully, line M is intersecting line N at point A and it is intersecting line T at point C. So we can say line M is intersecting line N also and it is intersecting line T also, but they are intersecting at two different points, points A and point C. So we can say line M is the transversal of the other two lines, line N and line T. Line M is the transversal of line N and line T, because line M is intersecting the other two lines at two different points. So line M is called the transversal of the other two lines. Similarly, if you observe line N is intersecting line M also. Line N is intersecting line T also at point B. Line N is intersecting line M at point A. Line N and line M are intersecting at point A. But line N is intersecting line T at point B. So this line is called line N and this line is called line T. Line N and line T intersect at point B. Similarly, line N and line M intersect at point A. So we can say line N is intersecting line M also, and it is intersecting line T also, but at two different points, A and B respectively. So we can say line N is the transversal of the other two lines. So here line N is also the transversal of the other two lines, because line N is intersecting the other two lines at two different points A and B. Similarly, we can also say line T is the transversal of the first two lines. Line T is touching line M at point C. Line T is touching line M at point C. So line T and line M intersect at point C. And line T and line N intersect at point B. So we can say line T is intersecting the first line M at point C, and line T is intersecting the second line N at point B. So line T is touching both the lines. Line T is touching line M also at point C, and it is intersecting line N at point B. So line T is intersecting the other two lines at two different points, point C and point B respectively. So we can say line T is also the transversal of the other two lines, M and N. So in this particular diagram, each of the line is the transversal of the other two lines, because each of the line is intersecting the other two lines at two different points. Then each of the line will become the transversal of the other two lines. But in this diagram, only line T becomes the transversal of the other two lines, because only line T is intersecting the other two lines, while line M and line N are not intersecting each other. They are parallel lines. Line M and line N are parallel lines, while line T is a line which is moving across or intersecting across both the parallel lines. So line T is intersecting both the lines at two different points. So line T will be called the transversal of both the points. So the definition of transversal is a line which intersects two or more than two lines at more than two different points. Then such a line is called the transversal of the other lines.